Hello, everyone. Let me. Whoop, there we are. Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending where you're tuning in from. Hello, hello, hello. Hope you all had a lovely weekend, um, and are starting off your week with on a nice note. I hope. I have been suffering from my allergies, uh, which it's so weird. So this is the first spring I have ever had to endure this. Um, so according to like the blood tests and then subsequent allergy tests and why I'm getting immunotherapy is because one of the allergens, I should say, that spiked very high for me was trees and pollen, um, tree pollen and grass pollen, and which was so weird because I have never suffered during the spring. I it, it I I was like, well, I don't have seasonal allergies. And so once I've started, now I've been doing immunotherapy. For some reason, I'm getting affected, and so this apparently can be common because they're basically, you know, every week I'm getting stabbed with with tree pollen and grass pollen on my arm. So it's like pet dander, and dust and mold, like one of those on this side, and then trees and grasses on this side. And so it's so weird. It's so weird. Um, but yeah, I took antihistamine, so it's kicking in. So, but if you hear it for now in my voice a little bit, it just feels, yeah, like a scratchiness in my throat, and my eyes were like this. But they're opening now, and my congestion is calming down. So uh, that's probably going to get progressively better as as we continue. But yeah, I definitely feel it kicking in, and I'm grateful for that because oh my gosh. So if you hear me sound a little congested, it's so weird. It's so weird. It's blowing my mind really. And which ironic is that Brian suffers from seasonal allergies, and he hates spring and in the fall, and he's perfectly fine. So we switched places. Oh, yeah, I even had to take my asthma pump last night. Because yeah, the chest constriction and stuff, and I took an antihistamine last night too. So I am getting beat up by the pollen, uh, which is really it's just unbelievable. So I'm coming to grips. I haven't accepted it yet. I'm coming to grips with it. Um, but another thing too over the weekend, so the weekend before I had tackled our living room closet. I was working on that. And then this weekend I tackled our bedroom closet, and where did I put it? I found this, and I wanted to show this to you. So this is where I keep my educational posters. And I was like, oh, this might be interesting to folks. I have quite a few. And so I got this so that I could take them with me when I'm doing walks and things like that, if they were relevant to the type of walk that I was doing. But yeah, I was like, oh, let me show them some cool educational posters that I've collected over the years. Um, I have bought some, I have been gifted some, I have thrifted some. So they definitely come from like everywhere. I'll try to remember where. Ah, yes. Okay. So the first one is a gift, and this one is yeah, this was a gift from someone. I'm trying to remember who it was. I'm trying to remember who it was. But these were trees from Maine, and so you could see here, and these are all like laminated. So this is wonderful. because I can take it out. It can be a rainy day. We can use wash erase markers on these posters. And so if we see a couple, because yes, Maine is not too far away from us, so we definitely see quite a few of these species here in New York City. So it's still thankfully relevant. But if any of you are ever interested in, getting posters or doing walks around your area, just make sure they're laminated. Or if you have a really cool poster that you'd like to bring out to places, just try to go somewhere. I'm not sure if Michael's does it, but some craft stores might offer it to do the lamination. And then it's a great teaching tool. So you can take it with you. If you use wash erase markers, you could just clean it with like alcohol swab and people, I mean, of course, like soap, but alcohol just really gets it. Especially if you're using like a red or blue colors, it just really takes it off so it doesn't stain the plastic. But yeah, I really like this poster. We had it on our bedroom door for a couple years. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get something to hold all my posters because I had them basically rolled up um, and kind of stuck in a corner in my closet. And I thought, well, it's better if I put them into an actual tube. Um, Now they're still in my closet, but at least they're more protected and not getting bent. This one I did purchase. So, oh, volume one and volume two. So there's actually it's two in one poster. So there's two sides to this. So these are all different types of fungi species. These are all types of mushrooms. And on this side is more mushrooms. These are really cool, like the bracket types of mushrooms. Yeah, these are super cool. Here we go. These are really cool. They look like coral. Absolutely beautiful. I definitely need to go on more mushroom walks this year. I haven't been on a mushroom walk in a while, and I recently was doing some tree planting on Randall's Island, and they created a little wetland area right by where we were doing our uh, planting. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second because I was looking at the poster. Um, and yeah, what's it called? They made a little wetland area, and there was a bunch of wood ear mushroom. I love wood ear mushroom. It's kind of, if anybody doesn't know it by wood ear, it's like a little brown mushroom, and it's very like very rubbery, kind of like jelly-like, and you might find it in some soups. So, so good. Here's some flowers. These are some really, really gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous posters here. I actually have two of these so that when I am teaching a class, so if I'm talking about types of flowers or flower morphology, I can have because it's a two-sided poster, so I can have one on each. Like I can post both up at the same time. So yeah, so I have two of those. But I absolutely love I love that Passiflora. Um, oh, hold on. Medicinal herbs, the essential guide. Ooh, guiding and using plants. Sounds familiar. Let me see if I own that book. Uh, Guide to medicinal herbs. And there's a couple here. Oh, medicinal herbs. Essential guide to growing and is it the one by Hale Malin? or something like that. Hallie Malin? I don't think I own this one. That is cool. Oh, and it's available for 4.99 or for free if you have Kindle Unlimited. I do have Kindle Unlimited, but I think I've taken out all the books that I can on Kindle Unlimited. So I'll probably just get it for 4.99. I'm having to switch to getting ebooks. I have hit my max with books, and as much as I want more books, we have no room. So I was telling Brian that over the next few weeks, I am working on a project. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but I'm working on a project to catalog all my books. I'll show you a cool app that I'm using as well. Um, but I'm cataloging all my books because if you have 1,000 books, I have to check if it's here in New York City too, but if you have 1,000 books, you can get a certificate for being a library. And uh, we have so many books, and here like these bins right here. There's two of these on top of one another, and then there's two here, so there's four. So these bins have books. They have books, and then there's the books here, and then there's a whole shelf of books. So yeah, um, uh, I am cataloging all my books because, yeah, I'm working on some projects, and it's gonna make it much easier for me to find my books. And I'm also gonna go through the insane task of eventually, you can using the app that I downloaded, which is for free, you can actually categorize your books. So you can put the location in your house so you can find them again, which is what I need. Because I'll think of a book and I go, yeah, I have that book. And then I'm like, where is it? Uh, and especially now that I put these bins, aesthetically, it's very pleasing, but I can't see what's in there. And so I need to make sure I can have them. And then I'll just do like shelf one, like or box one, two, three, and then the second row, the next couple numbers, um, so that yeah, I can find the books when I need them. But also you can categorize the books. So what I want to do is eventually have all the books together. And I've tried to do that, but I want like all my plant stuff, all my like house plant books. A lot of them I do have like together in the bins. If they're house plant and they fit, they were all in a bin. But then I had some like stragglers that had to be mixed in with the herb and fungal books, fungi books. Um, so I would like to eventually categorize it where like all my houseplant groups are books are in one group. Like all my mushroom books are in one group. All my like animal science, ecology type of books are in one group, and then like all my herbal guides are in one group, and so on, so that I can, it's just even more categorized. So eventually, but that's right now, I just want to scan them so I know what I have and where it is. That's the first hurdle to get through. And then I'll worry about categorizing them in like, further. But I think just that first hurdle is gonna get me to where at least I want to be in the short term. And yes, Gabby, I am in the process of writing a book. I have a few drafts of different books that I wanted to start. So one is about house plants, and so that's the one I'm going to be focusing on. But I do have drafts on one that's on the spectrum of botanical medicine, and then I have another book that I was starting to do interviews with people from different cultures, um, and talking about like the impact of plants on people, but through different lenses. So yeah, uh, it, it's yeah, there's outlines and notes and like beginnings of manuscripts, and then I put those down. So yeah, but the houseplant book is the one I'm going to try to throw myself into. And for that reason, I really want to catalog my books because then it's easier for me to reference my books. So right now it's very overwhelming because I'm going like, oh, I want to talk about, let's say, spider plants, but then not all houseplant books refer to spider plants, but some do. And so I'm working on that so that I can have, you know, all of that sorted so I can then more easily look up those look up those specific books so I can pull them from my library. Um, yeah. So that's something that's going down. And eventually, I mean, down the line, um, I would like to have an actual like locale that people could come and yeah, the dream is to have like a place where you can buy plants, but then there's also a cafe area so people could sit and hang out, and there could be a library that people could you can't leave with the book off the premises, but you could, take the book and read it while you're there, and then have like a cafe area where we have like different herbal blends and things like that. So very like all around well-rounded planty shop. That's kind of what I want to do one day. Um, and all these books are the majority of my books are about plants. They really are. So it's probably like 70% is about plants. So I have hundreds of books about plants. Um, so yeah, I want to organize them better. And yes, oh, Gabby, that is great. Uh, what's it called? To catalog also my teaching tools, like my posters, visuals, collections. Yes, 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 yes. I have several fossils. Yeah, I have fossils. I have figurines. I have all these really cool things. Posters. Different types of what's it called? Like they're scientific models, like this one, for instance. Um, Actually, I love this other one. Maple uh dropped it off the shelf that it was originally on, so the front plate cracked, but it's still fine. Um, but I had to move it to my bookshelf so that it would be safer. Oh no, that's my seat. Buddy, come on. Come on, Jules. Come on, move. Thank you. This, so you could see it cracked here, but this is a plant cell. So, I had to build it. It was a really cool model to build. And so it's like a 3D rendering of a plant cell. Uh, I totally recommend these. They have an animal cell one, which would be cool to get as well. But yeah, so they have the plant cell. I'm gonna put it back on. I was about to put it behind me, and I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna put it back where it was because it was nice and safe, and then I don't have to freak out if it falls. Um, and then also petrified wood. So this is essentially fossilized wood. The one side is not polished, so you can't really see anything on that side, but this side is polished. And here's the bark. So so it's no longer wood. What happens is that over time, um, it's like it mineralizes. So basically, it's just it's basically everything is replaced with minerals, and so now it's a stone. It is a stone now, but it has all the imprints, the indentation um, of what used to be the bark. It's a really cool cross section. Um, And I love this piece. I think it's so beautiful. You could see the hard to catch on. It's so shiny, so you can you're seeing the computer. Um, but I'm trying to see. There you go, maybe a little bit. You could see the tree rings. Um, and so yeah, uh, I do. I have a lot of this stuff, and and I would like to be able to reference it much more easily. And so, um, yeah, I definitely need to catalog that as well. You brought up a very, very good point because I realized I was like, I should do that because I realized that I don't. Um, and I'll just show these and then I'll get back to it. But here, I'm sorry, I get excited about this type of stuff. So sorry, bear with me for a few more few more minutes. There you go, Suzanne. There you go. Silicates. Yeah. I'm not sure if I've shown this before, but I have this little diagram kind of set here that shows how seed, so specifically a dicot. So this is a dicot, but it shows the different stages of a seedling. Here we go. And then, so, it's a dicot, so two cotyledons, so basically two leaves when it comes out. The monocots would only have one. Um, Here, so you have these little seed leaves. If you've ever grown lima beans, you might, this might look very, very familiar. I think these are supposed to be lima beans. And then these, and then you go from there to there. So uh, I love these types of things. And so I definitely need to be better with it. And then this last one I'll show you. I bought these actually off of, was it Temu or AliExpress? Like I think a few years ago now. Um, I won't show the spider because I don't want to scare everyone who's scared of spiders. I'll show the butterfly one. I think that would be better. So there's a couple in here. These are the life cycles of different types of insects or like invertebrates. So for one, you have the eggs are laid on a leaf, and then those eggs hatch out and become baby caterpillars, and they start feeding on the leaf. And then you get your caterpillar, and you start to get big enough where it's time to become a chrysalis. So you get that, and then you emerge as a butterfly. But yeah, so I have a bunch of these. So I have one for beetles and one for spiders. So I was like, let me pick the butterfly because I feel like that might be there. Um, yeah, Suzanne, that's a great point that I could have a coin operated photocopy machine. Yeah, absolutely. Um, and one of my goals too is to take scans of like different charts and diagrams in a lot of these books too, so that they're easier for me to pull up for reference. Um, and yeah, I would love to just share out the info. Suzanne, yes, I do need a clone. Absolutely. I need a clone. We need to we need another person. Um, so yeah. Um, oh, are the great point, Gabby. So are the flowers and mushrooms on the poster regional? And so I think these are just like a mix. So there are some like Asian species, there are some species that you find in Europe, and some species that you can find in the United States. So this one's a really big mix. Oh yeah, here. So ear, here it's called a jelly ear. So mushrooms. So yeah, there's a bunch. There's actually an example here too of powdery mildew that you can find on some plants where it looks like a gray dust that the leaf will get, but then you're able to if it's early on, it'll like sooty mold, for instance. Yeah, like those you can get it off of your leaves. Powdery mildew, once it really sets in, it's in there. but yeah, you can get like things like sooty mold. Sooty mold is going to be like darker. It's much more like black mold. It looks like that. But what it is, it's that your house plant has a pet. So it has either like spider mites or aphids or scale, something that is producing honeydew, which is the essentially the excrement. It's drinking your plant's juices, it's digesting it, and it's what comes out. And it's basically sugar water. So it goes in as sugar water, it comes out as sugar water. Um, and so what happens is that fungi love sugars. And so the spores will land on your leaves that are really sticky with that residue, and it'll start to grow mold. But you can clean it off. So it's not a death sentence for your house plant. It just means it's actually like a good sign that there might be something wrong with your house plant. So you can just wash off the leaves with like soap and water and a paper towel, and then address the what's actually causing this, which is the infestation. But yeah, so sometimes when people think mold, they panic with their house plants, and it's not always the case. So you don't have to always panic necessarily. And then what else did I have? Oh, it was two mushrooms, two flowers. Yeah, two mushrooms, two flowers, and then the trees, and then these. So here are when I do my ecology walks. So it's the same thing where I have two so that I can put them by side if I'm teaching. Um, but yeah, so these are all different types of invertebrate. Um, Here you can see some, just they're all arthropods. So basically all invertebrates from different families. I love those. The mimicking, the leaf insects. Those are super cool. Um, and these are basically like a bunch of beetles and leaf hoppers, wasps, flies, bees. Yeah. So, and there's two of those. And I don't want to give those too much screen time because I know folks don't it might be triggering for some folks. I think these are also invertebrates. Yeah, these are more beetles. Um Beetles and wasps. I'll do a quick show, but I just don't want folks triggered in any way. So if my mom, oh my gosh, my mom is terrified of insects, any insect. My mom, nope. Uh, she says anything that has more than four legs, she can't deal with. So yeah, she'll send me pictures. She's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "It's a really cool beetle." And yeah, when I was over there, my mom was losing her mind because I was running around grabbing everything. So like there was this really giant like scarab type of beetle that I saw, and it was huge, and I just I couldn't reach it, so I actually got on Brian's shoulders. And I was able to grab it, and I took a bunch of pictures of it. I was like, "Oh, this is so cool!" And my mom was like inside the house behind the glass, like freaking out. So I was like, "This is so cool!" And yeah, I I'm like, "Oh, that looks cool," and I will go for it. Um, and then these are cool. These are just different types of fruits and vegetables. So this is also a double so that I can show. So I do have like some lectures that I've done on the morphology of fruits. There's fleshy fruits and dried fruits. Um, and so hence why I have these posters here, but just to show, yeah, different examples of fruiting in plants. And then here are some vegetables. So yeah. You can really get these. These were super inexpensive. I think I got like the ones that I got doubles, they already came in 2 packs and they were like 5.99 or something like that. So very inexpensive. So if any of you are teachers or have kids or want to do something like that where you have these educational posters up, super cheap, super cheap. And you can get um a lot of them you can actually like I think the insect ones I got off of like Wish or AliExpress. It was one of those sites where you had to wait like 6 weeks before they got there, but it was super cheap. Um, and so it was worth it because they're great and these are all laminated, so I don't have to worry about that. Um, so they'll last a really long time, and they're just great teaching aids. And then the poster holder I got on Amazon, and I think it was like 14 bucks or something, but it's waterproof and yeah, it'll keep them safe. But I can fit all of the posters in there. So it's wonderful. And then and it has the strap, so if you're on the go, you can take them with you. They're wonderful. Oh yes, Earth Day. Oh, I hope you have a great one. Yeah, no, have a great class. Have a great class. Oh, and Florida, so it's nice cool morning on your end. Yeah, it the temperature dropped here in New York City. Um, yeah, they really it was really nice, and then the temperature just dropped. Um, and I was kind of sad because it looks like it's affecting our cherry blossoms. So we had a lot of really pretty cherry blossoms come up, and yeah, they were like really pretty, and then the cold snap. So it's been super chilly. Like it dropped to like 50 and then the high 40s. Got really, really cold, and it's yeah, some of our flowers aren't faring very well. And I saw a colleague sent me a picture that in Colorado it snowed over the weekend. She's like right outside Denver, I believe. And she said that they got pummeled with snow, and she sent a picture, and it was just like, and she had just told me that she was going to start putting out her starters, her seedlings, and she was so happy that she ended up waiting. She didn't have enough time to do it. So she didn't put her plants out. And she was grateful that she didn't because it was just, she woke up and it was snow everywhere. Like a blizzard just came through overnight and just dumped so much snow on them. And yeah, so she was grateful because she would have lost all of her herbs. So yeah, gosh, it's oh no. Suzanne says we've had frost warnings. Yeah. So the cold isn't done with us yet, unfortunately. We have been getting a lot of April showers so far. Yeah, definitely not. Actually have a really cool book here. Um, this one is 3 Seasons of Bloom, and that's what it was just making me think of the seasonal changes. And then I saw the book, and I was like, oh yeah. But for those of you who do have outside gardens and haven't learned about successional gardening or successional blooming, uh, this might be a really, I got this, I thrifted this. It was a used book for a few dollars. Um, but yeah, you can plant with seasons in mind. So plants that will come out in the spring, followed by the blooms that you will have that will sustain the um, throughout the summer, and then gardens that will then also bloom in the fall. So yeah, I really like this book. This was actually really cool. Um, And yeah, it talked about all that successional planting. So if anybody is interested, it's called Three Seasons of Bloom. The Time Life Complete Gardener. It's like a part of a series. There's a bunch of these like hardback books. Um, I have a couple of these like hardback books for gardening that I've gotten at like flea markets or found in thrift stores. Um, yeah, most of my books are thrifted. So um, I I like to find them that way because it also makes them um more affordable. I'm trying to see if yeah. I don't know if you could hear that. Julia is calling out hello. Oh, George. I was talking about a book and it's called Three Seasons of Bloom. This one. Three Seasons of Bloom. I'll put that in the chat. So Three Seasons of Bloom. I was just talking about this book. Here we go. Time Life book. Time Life. Oops. There we go. Yeah. Um, really, really great book. If you want to learn more about successional blooming or successional planting, that one's really great. Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any cool books behind me right now. Oh yeah, there's a couple. But Soil Sisters is really great. A toolkit for women farmers. And so this one's really great about the importance of soil, building healthy soil, and farming practices. And um, if you ever want to, it's like full of like testimonials and like success stories. Really cool book. Soil Sisters. It's a fun one. It's a fun one. I follow them on social media as well. They have really great, and I think they have a another book, I think, that they dropped. I'm trying to think if it just came out. It might have just come out. The Soil Sisters. Um, that one. Oh yeah, and a book that I often recommend and I usually take on my walks, Trees Up Close. So, if anyone is wanting to learn more about types of tree identification and just wants like a really nice book that really has some close-up photos, Trees Up Close is wonderful. Like these are the oak buds, so Corcus. So they cluster at the tip. So for an oak tree, just absolutely gorgeous photos. There's a whole series of these. There's seeds up close, leaves up close, and flowers up close, but they're big books. They're like big hardcover books. And then they also have released this little book that's part of the series, but it's like its own little standalone. Hello, own little standalone. Hi, he wants to be involved, I guess. And oh yes, George, Soil Sisters with an S. I believe that is their handle as well on social media. Soil Sisters. Um, yeah, they're really great if you want to check them out. Um, yeah, Trees Up Close. So it's a really great book to have. I especially like to take it in the fall and winter with me because it also showcases, um, buds and like leaves and things up close that you can't see or their time has passed. So like this is really cool. It shows you the development of the magnolia pod. So how they start, and then once they're fertilized and they start to go to seed. So those the seed pods no. Trying to think. I actually have some magnolia pods. So they go from this uh to I have a few magnolia pods. So let me grab this one, not bring the chestnut with me. Or is the chestnut coming with me? Nope. Okay. The chestnut is very sharp. It's like all needles. But yeah, so I have a few different varieties. But then this is what the seed pod ends up looking like. Um, and the seeds are usually like a red color, and they'll be in these little crevices and they'll fall from the tree that way. And you're left with these magnolia pods. Um, yeah, these are great. Oh, here's, I think there was a seed left on this one. So it's all dehydrated, so it's no longer a viable seed, but it hung in there. Um, oh, it went right back in. It was in there. But yeah, these come in all shapes and sizes. I have smaller ones. I think this is my biggest one. Yeah, I think this is the biggest one. I keep a few on the bookshelf to show. So but yeah, yeah. So if anybody would be interested, let me know. I mean, I could do that lecture um on like the morphology of seed pods. I have lectures on that's a two-part lecture. So one is all about the dried fruits. So this is considered dry, like a dry fruit. Like that, like the seed pods, or also things like peanuts are an example of dried fruit, walnuts, so like the nuts. Um, what else? Like nutmeg. So, and then there's fleshy fruits when you think of something like an avocado or, you know, I forget about banana. I think banana is considered something else. But, but yeah. Uh, so, I would love to do those lectures again. So if anyone is ever interested, let me know. Um, and I could do a separate class and I could record it so folks can check it out. Um, oh yeah, magnolia seeds. Yeah, it cannot be dried and cannot survive in a freezer. Whew. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They need a large amount. Yeah, no, they definitely won't survive. They won't survive very well. And I know here you don't really like the magnolias that we tend to have here that will flower. Um yeah, no, they'll make it through the winter, but I've never seen a small magnolia tree. Yeah, I've never seen little ones. Oh, Jamie, I'm 10 days away. Oh, it's the countdown. I'm 10 days away from the big tree repotting. So for folks, this was her ficus tree. So it's I think it was a weeping fig, right? Ficus benjamina. Um, and then I usually water while I watch you. Refresh my memory next week. Should I change my water pattern? I'd water Monday, repot Thursday. And when should I start fertilizing? Yeah, you could water Monday and then repot Thursday. Yeah, totally. So that it has a couple days. That's perfect. That's perfect. In terms of when you should start fertilizing, I would say wait a little bit for it to get acclimated to the new pot. This can be anywhere at least 2 weeks on the low end, and maybe even up to 4 weeks um, for you to really see any signs if it starts doing poorly or it's in shock or things like that. So you would definitely see something within that span of time. So I would say no sooner than 2 weeks. Uh, but if you could potentially 3 to 4 weeks. Another thing you could do if you are able to get your hands on it is like worm castings. So if you were to get some worm castings or something like that from a local shop when you pick up, if you haven't picked up like your soil yet or anything like that, you could add some worm castings into your mix and that is like a slower release fertilizer. Um, and it's so gentle that you wouldn't have to worry, about like the timing or anything because I don't know if you could hear that. Jules has the zoomies. We have wood floors, and so he is running, but you could just hear him like launching himself in different directions. I don't know why he has the zoomies right now. Hey, Papa. Yeah, what happened? Oh my goodness. Oh, you're gonna topple me over. You okay? You're having fun? He's just running around the house right now. Good? He's such a large cat. But yeah, you could try the worm casting and then you don't have to worry about that because it's really really gentle and it basically like gets activated when you're like watering the your tree. You could even put it in the on the top layer and then when you water it'll basically um kind of make its way down. But yeah, it's really, really gentle. So uh, you could you could absolutely do that too, and then you don't have to worry about when do I need to fertilize because it's so minimal that it's safe for you to actually just add into your potting mix and not too much. You could add like a couple tablespoons worth of it into a bigger pot, but I wouldn't say like add a whole bag or something like that. Mostly not because it would hurt the tree, but rather it will hold a lot of water. So it is very moisture loving. And so you wouldn't want to add way, way too much, but a couple tablespoons is totally fine. A couple scoops is totally fine. Oh, Osmocote granules. I haven't used Osmocote myself, but there are some really great slow release granules. The only issue with slow release granules is folks whoop, just jumped and took the small book with him. All right. Um you can some people get heavy-handed with it. Hey, 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 be nice. Maple's not bothering you. Um yeah, you don't want to be heavy-handed with it. So a literal pinch goes a really long way. I would not go really far with it. I'm trying to think whose brand of the slow release granules. I think is it Job's? Joe's? Um, yeah, I think so. And those are great, but again, you want to just use a pinch. So you really don't, a lot of people like to kind of do this, but the problem is that if you ended up adding too much, you don't see it, you won't know it right away. It will actually take even like a month or sometimes even up to 2 months before you start to see the damage. Jobs, yes. So they have sticks, but they also have granules. Um, so you want to just be very, very minimal, very, very minimal with it. Uh, because yeah, you won't know that you added too much right away. And then by the time you finally see that your plant starts to get burned because there's just too much fertilizer in the soil, it's already too late. The damage is already reflecting on the plant itself. So yeah, pinch, pinch. Um, yeah, yeah. Suzanne, it seems like flowering trees always get stormed and lose their petals quickly. Yeah. Um, Yeah, it's really unfortunate. I mean, some flowering does happen like that, right? Just naturally. It's just a couple of days or even like some, trees is literally a couple of days and that's it. You blink and you miss it. Others, yeah, they'll hold their flowers for a couple weeks and that'll be totally fine. But then, yeah, the temperature shifts very quickly and that's it. That it loses out on that chance to yeah, to fertilize. And a lot of the really earlier blooming plants, they rely, on wind pollination, because a lot of, the pollinators aren't awake yet. They aren't they aren't out and about. I have actually seen bees. Um, yeah, bees, finally, bumblebees and some honeybees. So I started to see them again. Also ants. Been seeing a bunch of ants out and about. Um, and what else? Unfortunately, been seeing a lot of flies again outside. I know flies have their purpose. And they're actually some really cool looking flies. I really like syrphid flies that are pollinating flies, and some of them look like bees. So that's a really cool type of fly. But I definitely think I've been conditioned growing up where it's like fly. Um, but, but yeah, no, there are some really, really cool flies. Oh no, Holly, let me show you what happened to my plants after you told me about that bug. Ooh, no, Suzanne, you killed a mosquito a week ago. Oh, they're back again. I understand mosquitoes, they have their niche, right? They have a role in the food chain. Many animals rely on mosquito larvae, on mosquitoes for food. So they are very important to the environment, but oh my gosh, I even just thinking about it. Um, yeah, I'm allergic to mosquito bites, so when I get one, it's not fun at all. It's the swelling and it's just horrible. So I'm not looking forward to it. But Holly, let me add a spotlight so I can see the plant about the bug. So was it scale? What I'm trying to remember what. Oh no. Oh no.
This is the can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
This is that palm tree, that one that had the little,
Oh,
yeah. And this is the ah, the that one tree.
oh yeah, the
Just
little, was it the parlor palm? Was it that? Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I looked when I was taking them out, I saw the roots, and this is another one that got jacked up. It looks like it's really dead, but I don't know what it was. I
Did you
think it
do
was
the
philodendron. Yeah, I did. This one, uh, yeah, it's got some
green on it?
it's wet in there.
Okay.
And this one was wet inside, but I don't know how long it's gonna be last. So I just they were sitting over there, and I was noticed like this had a long green top and a brand new bunch of leaves coming out, and then they all turned brown. They were the little ones, and they just dried out. So I just had to cut it back to this, and I don't know what's going to happen. But that was just like when a month ago.
I mean, I
They just
wouldn't give up on those sticks because sometimes they will come back. I've 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 had that come up where like for plants that take way too long to ship or some of the philodendrons, for instance, that survived like the thrip attack where they just become a stick, they lose all their leaves and they look terrible. But yeah, sometimes they do come back. So I would say, keep looking at the roots, check the water. If it still has live roots, I would still give it a chance. It
Yeah,
might
I think
come
the
back.
roots are alive. They look alive. They don't look dead.
Okay.
Uh, I should probably cut off this part. I don't know what that is on there. But anyway, yeah, I just want to let you know. You looked at it, you said, "Oh, that one, it's got a brand new leaf," and then all of a sudden, everything is gone. It's terrible. Oh man, just watching that. And then I had a big old plant over there in the corner that it was a philodendron and a pothos and an arrowhead. and it was wrapped around the pole. You remember you were telling me
Oh
how to put the
yeah.
wrap on, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had to take that out because it turned brown, but I didn't know if the bug was inside the dirt. So I wanted to get rid of all that dirt in case it was. So I got rid of everything that was mostly dirt, uh, except for the ones that actually the plants are doing well. And it looks like they didn't mess with my cactus, my uh, snake plants. None of the snake plants are,
Are affected. Did you see
yeah.
what kind of bugs were they? Were they like spider mites or were they mealy bugs? Because mealy
No,
bugs
you
will go
looked
into
them
the
up
soil.
online for
Oh,
me, and it was something from China.
trying to
Yeah,
recall.
it didn't get any,
Oh,
this
but
thing,
yeah,
it's
it
got
didn't
brand
affect
new,
it. Uh-huh.
it's got new growth on here. Looked like a little bit of browning on one of them, but not really. I'm getting new leaves, so I'm not sure if I should take them out of that dirt or what, but none of the things that look like this, and
Yeah, so like the thicker plants seem to be fine. I mean, I would say to definitely use rubbing alcohol. Um rubbing
I've tried
alcohol.
everything.
No, it is nothing. I mean, I would continue to use it like with your succulents. It might be a little harsh on the palm. Um,
Yeah, I had
but
this
if
one
it's
is
diluted.
it was doing,
Oh, another snake plant. Uh-huh.
this one is still growing and nothing happened to it. I It's still getting new, it's not even turning brown.
No, no, no.
I had to put some, I had some stuff I put on here. I probably wipe them off, like you said, with alcohol. Because I got those little things that you told us to get, and you put alcohol in it, and it has a brush on the end of it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Those
Yeah.
little alcohol, those are great. Yeah, so for folks, I don't know where I put mine. But for folks that in case you weren't here for that, there are these pens that you can buy on like Amazon, and they're meant for like paint correction. They're basically alcohol brush pens. So it's a little pen with a little like a paintbrush tip almost, very thin tip. And what you do is there's a chamber for you to fill with isopropyl alcohol, and then it makes it so much easier for application of alcohol onto specific areas on your plant. So if you have like mealy bugs, they really like to get into the crevices, and so sometimes the spray is just not enough. And so you can really target with those little yes, watercolor brushes might work too. Yep. And so, yeah, it's a nice way to apply it. But yeah,
I kept
oh,
cutting this back because the ends of it kept turning brown, like those two right there.
oh,
I don't know if it's, I need to take out all this dirt or what, but it keeps growing. I mean, these are all new leaves, and a new leaf is coming up
yeah,
right
yeah,
there on the side. Uh, I don't know if I should take that out the dirt and start it all over again. But yeah, the ends just kept doing this, getting that little brown on the ends, like all those
yeah,
big plants are. And then
yeah,
all of a sudden the whole thing just got ate up. And my that Chinese one they call Lucky Bamboo,
uh-huh,
it's it had the same browning on the tips, but it still is long. Uh, I cut off all the brown part tips. Well, I don't know what happened. That was a long time ago, but it's still over there. I put it over there. I'm not gonna. It's I just put it over there this morning. But anyway, I just wanted you to see
yeah.
my
Jeez.
my pe what's that, peace lily? Yeah, peace lily completely died. The whole thing. the lady showed me her peace lily and it was all fluffy and stuff on this web video,
Uh-huh.
and mine used to look like that, and then all of a sudden there was just nothing there. It's like, oh man.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I'll probably be looking for some other plants this summer, but I don't know. I'm not really in a big hurry because uh yeah, some little white stuff on there. I thought it was diatomaceous,
Oh, the diatomaceous earth.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
earth, but I don't know. Just to make sure, I'll wipe them
Just
off with something. But anyway,
yeah, just double check because the white, that could also be like mealy bugs. So you just want to check with that. In terms
yeah,
of the prayer plant, the little one that you just showed that had like the four leaves,
yeah.
has the new leaf coming. Um, I don't think you should remove it from the soil just yet, especially if it has a new leaf coming. Um, did the humidity change in your apartment in any like did do you watch your
Just this,
humidity?
no, nothing different. I don't have any of those monitors for humidity, but nothing really changed. I mean, they were
Me.
just for 3 years, blue, just, oh, I'm so happy I'm growing. The only different thing that I saw was that year, those little Chinese plant bugs were flying around like it was so many of them, a big old colony of them. And I'm not sure if they're coming back this year, but that's the only difference thing that happened, nothing different else, nothing. Was watering these once a month, like
Yeah,
anything like this,
yeah, yeah.
once a month, and watering the other ones, some of them once a week and once every 2 weeks for like that prayer plant doesn't need a lot of water. It really, I had to cut down on most of the water because it's nothing hardly left. But when I first had it, it had a whole bunch of leaves. It was like 2 or 3 stalks coming off of that one thing. And now that it's just that many leaves or less, I only water it half as much as I did. I was filling the little thing up to half the point, the dish that's sitting under the pot. And now I do half of that because I'm just worried that I don't want to overwater something that really it doesn't look like it needs that much water. It just, I don't know. Even those, if I felt the dirt and it still had moisture in it, I'd wait and water it every 2 weeks instead of every week. So anyway, it's nothing really big
Like
that
nothing
changed.
big different. Yeah, it was just that. Geez. I mean, yeah, just I would try to stick with alcohol as a preventative and treat the plants that you currently have just so as a preventative. So just to keep anything from attacking while some of them come back. So you don't want them to get affected. Um, but yeah, just
Well,
maybe
I
for now, when you do get new plants, maybe look for cuttings. So maybe local in your area, so that you could stick to water for now.
yeah,
So like water propagations for now.
right,
If there was any pests that were, multiplying in the soil, I would say maybe for now, when you do get plants, maybe get cuttings for now. So it's just something that's a little easier to manage in the meantime.
yeah, yeah. Okay, I
Oh, I'm
want
so
you to
sorry
hear
to hear
that,
that.
but it's
Oh,
okay. These still look pretty.
yeah, they
The
do,
ones
they
I
do,
got still
they
are
do.
very pretty and green, and still the hope for something happening with the what I have is it's exciting. It's just, uh I don't know. I thought I wasn't a good plant person at all, and they did such a good job, so I kind of got encouraged. So maybe something good will happen.
Yeah, no,
Maybe I'll get those little green things that you have. I saw them on some film, the little cactus things that open up in the middle and
oh yeah, the
look like
little,
some kind of horseshoe or something. Just I don't know what it looks this big, and then it has a split in the middle. Maybe I'll just get those and
yes, the lithops.
yeah,
Yeah, they're super cool. And yeah, they come in so many different colors, and you
yeah,
only have to water them a few times a year.
yeah,
So those are definitely better. They're lower maintenance. Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Best of luck. I'm
Oh,
so sorry, but I just want you to know, like, it happens. You'll build up your collection. This has happened to me even just this last summer. We lost so many plants to thrips. It was terrible. So, it happens. It's like not, I won't say a roller coaster, but it's more like these ebbs and flows, right? So it's like this, you'll have a few great years, everything's growing happy, everything, you don't change anything, and then that one year where you get something. So I've had to deal with like mealy bugs. We've gone through, spider mites, and thrips are what have really decimated so many of our plants. We had like a really bad year. I think it was like 2017 or 2018. Then we had, I think it was like end of 2021 or beginning of 2022. We had a couple issues with thrips. Then we thought we were good, and then we got hit over the summer with thrips again. So it, yeah, I'm so sorry that you're dealing with that. But yes, sending all the green, happy energy your way, so that ones that you currently have continue to do well, and then when you get new cuttings, you can reinvigorate your collection. But I just letting you know, I totally, yeah, it's a really big letdown because it's plants you've loved for years, and then yeah.
I have a question. I have
Sure.
some nettle seeds
Oh yeah.
and grow them in the house.
Um, well, nettles, they need a lot of sun. So I'm not sure how well they might grow indoors. You might be able to start them definitely indoors, but they might have to go like on a fire escape, or like outside on a windowsill, because I'm
Yeah.
not sure if they'll get enough light. I mean, they might still grow, but they might grow a little scraggly indoors. I'm thinking that they might not grow like as bushy and happy. Rather, they might kind of stretch and look a little gangly. Um,
Um,
if you grow them indoors, but
no,
so I would say maybe start them indoors, and if you can put them like on a fire escape or something like that, that they may fare a little bit better because they're gonna need that full sun.
yeah, I can't. Everything that I want to grow for eating, like those little herbs that are wild, uh, weeds, it has to be grown outside. And that's kind of what I wanted to do because there's so many of them that you can eat. And I mean, they do not do well indoors. Like you said, they need that full sun, like purslane, even even dandelions and plantain. And like if I had those four, I think my health and everything else would just bloom because they have so much um, vitamins in them,
They
you
really
know.
do. Yeah, I think plantain is comparable to kale in how
Yeah.
much nutrition that they have. So yeah, a plantain is wonderful. I mean, if you're really, really interested in it, maybe just investing in grow lights, that might end up being, if you really wanted to like grow them indoors, you might just have to get like special lights for them.
Uh,
Um, and so that they would then grow a little bit better for you. Um, but yeah, that
Yeah,
I
I
think
went
that
to the store and talked to them about grow lights. I'm not sure. I'm not savvy enough to know how to do it on a budget.
uh
Like you have to, the thing that they have are really big for like if you have a
oh
place
yeah,
for, yeah, really large quantities of stuff. And, it's too confusing. But like if I was working with you or lived lived in your neighborhood, we probably could figure it out. But
yeah.
no,
Mm,
it's for somebody who's a really beginner at just growing plants. I would not have the idea of what exactly was the best way to do it in an apartment. My apartment has no balconies or no window
uh,
things on it or anything. So it would have to be a little grow
like
house.
yeah, like the little
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm. And then I have to price that to be at a not to be overtaking my whole small apartment. And then but that would be nice if I figured that out and was able to grow them to the point where I'd have year-round food from that. It would be great because that's kind of like the purpose of me doing it is for the eating the herbs because they are so potent. Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, and I mean, there's also just two quick points is that if you're able to find a local community garden that is organic, because there's a lot of community gardens that's what they focus on is just to make sure that they're completely organic. Um, if that's the case, uh, then sometimes you can ask to either have a plot there, so you have like a little corner of your own, um, or you can ask, hey, you guys don't want this plantain that's growing, you don't want this dandelion that's growing, because usually they just weed them out. And so you could say, hey, I can voluntarily harvest these
Yeah.
because I'm going to
Oh,
eat
that
them.
sounds really good. Hmm.
So I've taken full advantage of that. There's a couple community gardens in the Lower East Side that they pride themselves on, it's all organic. And so yeah, when I would go and visit, I'd be like, you don't want these, right? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay. So I would take the mugwort and things like nettle, if you collect enough of it, you can dry it, and once it's dry, you can put it in the blender or put it like in a grinder, like those electric coffee grinders to
Yep,
powder. And
right.
then what you could do is you can actually add that powder that becomes like a green powder. So you can
Hmm.
add it to smoothies, you can
Yeah,
add it to broth. So
all of
yes,
these are homemade
perfect. Yeah,
herbal capsules.
wonderful.
This,
Yeah,
so I know what you're talking about. This is
yeah,
uh, green tea moringa, which I don't really moringa. When I was trying to use it by itself, I didn't really feel the effects of it, But it's supposed to be a super uh, herb. Uh, anyway, so that's what. So I like to do stuff like that because it helps me to stay healthy at the same time. You
yeah,
know, it really they're really powerful. Um, uh, and I appreciate them. It's like I'm in love with I'm in love with herbs, with the weeds.
yes. And
Yeah,
that's ironic that a lot of the weeds that we have here in the United States that people consider weeds that have been introduced are very highly medicinal and like commonly consumed in other cultures. So
yeah.
like the garlic mustard, um, plantain, gosh, even
Wild
yeah,
lettuce.
dandelion greens, wild lettuce.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, there's so much. Use like burdock root
Yeah,
is great.
burdock.
So there's just so much. Oh, lamb's quarters. I don't know if I'm trying to remember if lamb's quarters was introduced, but I know that lamb's quarters is related to quinoa. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, and
I
lamb's quarters is eaten like a vegetable. That's cool.
yeah,
It's really
I'm
cool, but
I have the burdock capsules, but I'm not familiar with lamb's quarters and what they do. I have never seen a talk on those. I've seen a talk on wild lettuce that for people who do foraging and go out there and that's all they got is wild lettuce. But I mean, that's like heaven if I could just have the environment to have those things. It would be like, you don't have to go worrying about number one, the lettuce and the salads that you get from the store are nothing like they were when I was your age or younger. When I eat it, I hardly taste any, nutrition or anything. It's not fun to eat anymore. But if you get it out the yard, that's fresh, even if it's a wild weed, it's going to be, have all those nutrients that you miss from getting this package, this stuff, in the store. And, I hardly even like salad anymore. So,
no, I feel you, and a lot of things so that folks know is a lot of these things that in the flavor profiles like the volatile oil content on like mint related plants or things like that. It really is dependent on the environment. So it's dependent on like being because a lot of those things are actually defensive like the defensive compounds. So they building that up to combat these things around them, and so it's usually they have like a much different taste than ones that are grown in a more protective uh like situation, like they're
yeah,
cultivated, because they usually don't have to basically they don't have to build up their immune system, and so
yeah,
some folks can like really taste the difference. Like it just seems that other plants like that are either foraged or grown wild, like in a that type of setting, they just tend to like have like a crisper
yeah,
kind of taste. But yeah, and it's because they're like having to fight for survival versus one that's not. So the
yeah,
compound levels are different.
yeah,
But oh man. But try to find out about a local community garden because that might be the ticket right there. They might be more than happy, like, you want this plantain? Take it. You want these nettles? Take it. So those are the relationships you want to cultivate, because if that's what you want, and then you can get like there's like herb drying racks and things that are super cheap that you can get. You can dry your harvest, and then if you want to powder it or baggy it or something for the future, so that you can have access to them year round. So I would say try your local community gardens. Just kind of look them up. Go, sometimes they do like volunteer days and things like that, and connect and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for, and would you be interested in me coming and just weeding for you for free, and I can just take what I weed? And usually they're like, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, just try it.
All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Oh, man.
Oh yes, Brenda, I saw here. Your jade plant shows fungus. You swabbed it with alcohol, but it returned immediately after. What's the next step? My cactus is on the same table. Oh my. Oh, okay. So if it is fungus, unfortunately, alcohol wouldn't help. You would want to try more, either you could try baking soda. So you
Okay.
could try baking soda.
Okay.
If it's specifically like one leaf, um, and you're like, I would just rather remove the leaf. Just remove it. That's
Oh, well, let me tell you,
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to see if I can show you the whole table. I'm not in Georgia right now. I'm in
Uh-huh.
Pennsylvania with my sister Barbara.
Uh-huh.
She had knee surgery. And you should see these plants. They're just so beautiful. I took a picture, but I don't know how to add it to this talk.
Oh.
Uh, Zoom. How do I take a picture of me showing you? Start
Hmm.
video.
I
How
think,
do
yeah,
I do
start
that?
if you start video. Yeah.
Okay, let me hit start video. Okay. Unable to access the camera.
Oh, hold
Allows
on.
Zoom to access your camera. So I have to say okay. Okay. Unable. It's not letting me do it right.
Hmm.
Okay. So anyhow, I think you had a conversation with Holly about probably being millibugs.
Uh-huh. Yes.
So now what do we do about if it is millibugs?
Ah,
Because
yes.
it's like a little patch, and it's got a little yellow and all these little flaky, flowery things.
Oh.
Which I could show it.
Hmm.
How can I show it?
So you say there's yellow and it has like
It, it looks like the powdery, and you
uh-huh.
see a little yellow coloration in it. Boy, I wish I could show this picture.
Hmm.
How can I show it? See, I'm on my cell phone, and and I'm zooming into you through my cell phone Zoom, and I did take a picture in my photos, and I
It
don't know how to even send that to you right now.
I think you might be able to do it in the chat, like where you write. There's
Okay.
an option to add a file, and
Oh,
I'm wondering
okay.
if it'll let you add a picture file from your phone.
Okay. Well, why don't you go ahead and talk to others, and I'll see
Okay.
if I can do that.
Yeah, sure.
Because other people may have questions as well, and I'll work on that. And
Yeah,
hopefully,
yeah.
I'll be able to show it to you before this meeting is over.
Sure, sure. Let me go
Yes.
through the
So
chat
thank
just
you for that information,
yeah.
and the baking soda. We'll try that also.
Yeah, try the baking soda. So, if it is mealy bugs, for instance, if you were to spray it with alcohol, it would immediately turn black.
Oh, okay.
So that is one really good indicator is it like starts it immediately works. Like you see it go from white to like a dark brown black color. Um,
Okay.
so that's very usually indicative that it's a mealybug or like a mealybug nest because they grow uh they grow in like the little nooks and crannies of the plant and so um yeah,
Oh,
when they do start to make eggs and things like that, they'll like it'll be like wedged. And then but the minute that you spray it with alcohol, it like burns it up really, really effectively. So that's one great indicator. Um, but if it's like a mold or something, then I would say either remove that part of the plant just to be safe because that the inner part could also be rotten, especially if you're seeing if it looks very like feathery, like very because I think you mentioned that it has like yellow in it and it looks kind of like does it look like cottony, kind of like fibrous? Is that what you're seeing? Because now I'm thinking if it might be because that if that is the case, then that might be uh some type of actual mold. And so yeah, the alcohol won't kill the mold. It might kill the flowering parts of the fungus, like the little mushrooms, but it wouldn't actually kill the mold itself. And so uh baking soda can usually it changes the pH of the like of where you're applying it. And so that tends to at least like kind of hold off the fungus a little bit. So that can be like effective in some cases, but if it's like a really um kind of wide spreading issue, then either cutting off that whole section might be the choice, or if you were to get a copper or sulfur containing fungicide. Now there are some that I believe have both. And so some type of fungicide that has both I think it's both copper and sulfur might you might need that. And so usually it comes like in a liquid form and then you can apply it with like a paintbrush. Now the leaves that are affected, they'll never go back to looking the way that they did, but it will at least kill the fungus and it won't continue to spread. Um, but yeah, the baking soda tends to be like one of those home remedies that can really help, especially if it's like the brown, like they call like brown leaf spot that is caused by fungus. That can be, cutting off that leaf and then applying the baking soda like on the rest of the leaves and on the plant, tends to help a little bit. That's like one of those home remedies. But if it's like serious infection, then yeah. Um, oh no, George, I had talked about sooty mold, sooty mold for house plants, which is like that black. It's like a black powdery mold that appears on houseplants after they've been fed on by pests, and then it can be easily like wiped off. So like sooty canker, things like that, they will actually change the morphology of the leaf. So the leaf will grow these like almost like sores, um, like these like imperfections on the leaf. You'll see like really weird kind of growths on the leaf. Um, and yeah, it's the plant is trying to protect itself from the infection, but it looks very, very different than like sooty mold, which is easily remedied, easily remedied. Um, how is the baking soda diluted? So usually from how I was taught to do it is you're just using the powder. So you're just kind of dipping a paintbrush into the powder and using the paintbrush to kind of do a little thin layer. So not very heavy-handed, but like a little thin layer on the leaf. I wasn't taught to put it into water. I'm not sure if that would be a good thing or a bad thing with adding it with water. I'm just thinking about adding more moisture to the fungus might not be good. But yeah, I was always when I was taught that trick, it was like and when I've seen it, it was always dry application of baking soda. Um, so no, not with any yeah, and it shouldn't damage your plant. So the baking soda shouldn't damage the plant. I mean, you can always do a test spot. So anytime you put anything on your plant, even like rubbing alcohol, definitely do a test spot. So I've never had any issue, for instance, with rubbing alcohol. I've sprayed begonias, I've sprayed ferns, I've sprayed palm trees with like anywhere from 70 to 90% alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and didn't have a problem. But every plant is different. So so always do a test spot just in case. But usually the alcohol should not harm the plants in any way. You could, if you just want to be a little bit, safer, I guess, with it, you could totally dilute it, do a 50-50 or like a 70% alcohol, in terms of not just the strength, but like 70% of your mixture and then 30% water, 50-50. Um, yeah, I don't dilute my alcohol. So I just put it straight into the little spray bottle and then that's it. And then that's what I use to spray my plants. Um and I just use that straight because it's been great. It's been very helpful. Now, I didn't stick with some of the plants that actually got thrips were the ones that I wasn't actively spraying. So I got lax with it. And so I think that's what led to the issue is I was working so much and so I was like, oh yeah, well I'll give them a water, but I wasn't looking at them close enough. So I regret that I didn't catch the thrips in time. And so like, oh man, but they're coming back, I was just checking. I have some sticks, like I have my old dopii. I have a Bromark's Fantasy, a little stick. I have a big one in my office, but I have a little stick that had gotten completely eaten up by thrips. And it was just a little stick. And it finally got a leaf. And now it has like three leaves. They're tiny. My Jopii, it was a stick. That's why, Holly, I'm saying don't give up because it got completely eaten. All the leaves came off. And it was just a stick, a very sad stick. and I've continued to water it. I have it by the window, and I was just checking on it over the weekend. So it's still a stick, But now at the node, there's a growth point. So there's a little green, little juts out. So I'm gonna be getting a new growth point. So hopefully a leaf. So don't give up on your sticks. Sometimes they will come back. So you want to make sure that it's dead. I had, oh my gosh, this was like in 2016, 2017. I had a plant that got lost in the mail and it was well over a month. I'm trying to think how long it actually was. It was weeks, like more than 4 weeks. It was just, and yeah, it was like, it was a green goddess. It was a philodendron that is, they love water. They love water. So when I got it, I was like, this is dead. And sure enough, it had no leaves anymore. Um, and it was shriveled up. And I put it into some sphagnum and I put it into my cabinet. And it came back. It gave me a bunch of leaves and I had it for a few years. Trying to remember what happened, but I did have it for a couple years and it came back. So yeah, so sometimes those are called wet sticks and some people buy them on purpose. So I got an accidental wet stick in that case. It was supposed to have leaves on it, but the plant was like it was gone, basically. It was like on its last limbs. Um, but yeah, some people do buy them on purpose though. So they'll somebody has a plant that they cut back, they remove all the leaves, and all you get is a stick. And with like one or two nodes or something on it, and then yeah, you just start them and hope for the best. So yeah, unless that thing turns like brown or it's like floppy and gelatinous, which means it's like rotted, I would hold on just in case. Because even when they look wrinkly and things like that, they might surprise you. Yes, exactly, with the little bark. Yes. So even if it looks like it might just be a dry stick at this point, um, just give it, a little patience and just see, because you just want to be sure that it's really because sometimes they will surprise you. And I think that's one of the great things about houseplants is these little surprises, right? So yeah, so sending you seriously, Holly, I'm sending you like a bunch of green growing energy. And oh man, I'm so sorry that you had to deal with that. Yeah, and to see the aftermath, like, oh my gosh. So, gosh, yeah. But don't worry, again, you're in good company. This is like the ebb and flow. Ebb and flow. You'll have all this growth and then something will come and annihilate it. Whether it be something happens with the weather, uh, it's just things out of your control. My mom lost, it was last year, I think. I might have shared it with everyone, but my mom, she had this gorgeous, beautiful garden, and they were doing painting. Um, like the city was doing like painting, and she's in Costa Rica. But they were like doing some painting, and it wasn't even like her part of like the garden. Like they weren't supposed to be anywhere near her, but they were going along the outside, and it went in. So like it was like a sprayer paint, like a paint sprayer, and so with the wind and everything, the paint just like the spray flew, and a bunch of her plants got covered in white paint. It's just so a bunch of her plants started dying, and she was like, I can't believe this. It burned her plants. Um, and so she had to cut everything back and kind of start over, and now it's back and beautiful. So it's yeah, it comes with the territory. But yes, happy Earth Day, everyone, and and thanks so much for hopping on and hanging out and letting me show you some educational items. I like giving others ideas, check it out. Seriously. If any of you are interested in like there are some houseplant ones too. There's some cactus ones. So even if you just want to get them for yourself so that you can practice your identification, it works. It really works. And so you can practice yourself. And especially if you get them laminated, It's a really cool teaching tool. I was a teaching cool. So yeah, so try it out. But thanks so much, everyone. And um, oh yeah, Holly, yes, yeah, yeah, Costa Rica. I mean, it is beautiful. Right now, they're actually going through a drought. So Costa Rica is not faring very well right now, guys. So it's supposed to be a rainforest, and they went 3 months without like really substantial rain. It was only like a couple inches in 3 months. So it's to the point where they're rationing water. So they are cutting off my mom's water from like 1 p.m. until like 11 p.m. So Costa Rica right now is in a water crisis, which is insane to think about because it's a rainforest, like rainforest ecosystem, you know, and it's always raining, and they're actually not having enough rain right now. So it's yeah, yeah. Send them some green prayers, definitely. So yeah, she's like she's been there for almost she's been back there for almost like a decade now, and she's like, this is insane. We've never had this before. So, um, but yeah, but thanks so much, everyone, again, and enjoy the rest of your Monday, and enjoy the rest of your week. I can't believe we're at the tail end of April already, but yeah, enjoy, Earth Day, definitely. Take a look around the ecosystem and, yeah, see what you could do for your local ecosystem. Sometimes there's a lot of really cool events in different neighborhoods around Earth Day, like planting flowers or you know fun things like that. So try to see. Yes, Holly, grow weeds. Yeah, yes. Thanks so much, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And yeah, bye for now.